got this insurance process as part of our claims pipeline called the cross-department claims process. And it's for settling claims internally between departments after they've been settled with the customer. So on paper, it's straightforward. And technically it works, but only because a lot of people, a lot of spreadsheets, and a lot of emails are holding it together. In reality, it's messy, it's slow, and it requires constant coordination across teams and regions and systems. If that sounds familiar, then this video might be helpful. And when you look at the actual process map for this cross-region claims flow, it lines up with 5 major workflows. So first, the accident happens and the local team receives the claim. They retrieve it from their systems and pay the claim immediately. The claim team reviews and approves the claim. The local team then issues the invoice. The holding team review that invoice, and finally the holding team then process that internal payment. So that's the simple view. That's where Luther comes in. So Luther can automate this entire process end to end. Every step, every handoff, every system. Instead of stitching tools together and hoping that they hold, you map the actual flow on a canvas, connect your systems, import your workflows, properly and securely code your process ops using tools you already know, and Luther runs the process for you. What I'm going to do now is actually build this process using Luther's technology. I'm here on the Luther Systems Connector canvas, and I'm ready to start creating my process. So let's just pull up that process map again. So the first step is this retrieve claim workflow. And all that I really want to be able to do here is retrieve a claim from a database and then verify the identity of that claimant making the claim. So let's see what Luther Systems have. So I'm going to click here to get started and then into workflows. And there are multiple workflows in here that I can scroll through. And each of them has a short description. But if I click on this info icon at the top right of the workflow, I get a more in-depth description. Here, we have the name, cross-department, claim retrieval, and policyholder verification. So, sounds promising. The description is claim retrieval and policyholder verification using Oracle database, Equifax, and Microsoft Teams. Step 1. We use Oracle database to extract the claims policy ID and retrieve policy details. Step 2. Claimant's identity details are validated using Equifax. That's what we need. And then there's a third step as well. Microsoft Teams is used to send an internal notification with the ID check outcome. Okay, great. So I'm going to add this to the canvas by clicking Add Workflow. And we get this workflow on the canvas. And what Luther will do is generate code for you that actually runs what you see on the screen. At the moment, this would generate code to run Oracle, Equifax, and Microsoft Teams connectors, as well as business logic to link those connectors together. We'll come back to that in a little bit. And we're going to need to configure these connectors. I just wanted to call this out. When you create workflows like these, what Luther does behind the scenes is generate workflow code for you. Once you've configured these workflows, Luther will create a GitHub repo containing a ton of code. So that code includes the configuration you've just set up, for example, for Oracle and Equifax, the workflow specific business logic that actually ties those connectors together. Okay, so I've finished up. All that I need to do now is choose my development environment. Luther is suggesting Cursor, Codespaces, and GitHub. I'm going to select Cursor. So here I am in Cursor, and I'll just quickly show you around where some of the key files in the code that's generated by Luther live. What I want to show you now is the workflow config. So I'm going to look in this directory here, File. For now, let's take a look at Workflow 1. So in Workflow 1, the local team retrieved a claim from Oracle. They then did an ID check on the claimant using Equifax. And finally, they created an internal notification of the outcome of that ID check using Teams. And we can actually see this in the code here. This GitHub repo comes pre-configured with GitHub Actions so that you can deploy quickly. And there are a ton more features that I won't go into in this video. But essentially, you get quite an impressive package just to start with.